Hello, everyone. It's been a while. That's an understatement. It's been a long time. It's been about a year now, more than a year. Um, I've just been working. I've been in school, really busy, and I've neglected the channel, obviously, and the random uploads regarding reading and gaming, things like that. And I've been thinking across this entire year, and I like to come back to it, but I'm afraid of just leaving it again and again. So I think my goal for this channel is probably to remain as obscure as possible. If I can have the least amount of likes and subscribers, I think that'd be the funniest thing. Because everyone's trying to shoot for the stars with their channels. So I think shooting for the opposite would actually be the best idea. Because a channel like this that just has random talks and, if you even want to call it advice, I try not to give advice. I try to just share my thoughts on the matter, but I know it comes out as advice. But I think it's better to remain obscure because something that just lies in the algorithm, like deep beneath the iceberg, I think it's just a better. I would feel happier that way. I feel like so. Hopefully, the YouTube algorithm never bumps up this channel with numbers. But yeah, um, it's Christmas by the time I'm recording this. It's very early in the morning, and I want to say Merry Christmas to everyone and Happy Holidays in general, if you don't celebrate Christmas. And I wanted to talk about avoidance, specifically in social relationships. This doesn't necessarily have to be erotic relationships or sexual or romantic. It doesn't necessarily have to be there. Just in general, avoidance. And this is more of like me talking about my own experiences because I've realized something recently that one of the things is that I've been an avoidant person my whole life. If I would rather not interact with people if I had to. If I had a choice, I would rather not. It would be easier. But the fact that I have to put on some sort of a mask each day and just roll with the punches and talk to people, even if it's my own friends and family and loved ones, that's what I'm gonna have to do, and so be it. But it's a fear, and it's a fear even when you're with people. You want to be alone, and when you're alone, you want to be with people. Sometimes that's a very specific type of avoidance that I've had for most of my life. Is the it's that unrest, no matter where you are, whether you're with someone or whether you're alone. You want to be in the other side of the fence, and when you're on the other side of the fence, you want to go back. And I know at some point, which I'm doing better already, I'm healing, I'm working on it. If I'm going to be able to function appropriately in this life, then I'm going to have to learn how to adequately do that with people. And a lot of the good thing is that for me personally, people don't see that. They think that I'm fine. Like, oh, I couldn't even tell you're avoidant because I hide it very well, very well. So I think the remedy to that is to put yourself in more social situations. Like as of recently, right? You want to find that one group, friend group, or people in general. It could be family, friends, whatever, that you hang out with that actually makes you feel, you know, oh, I'm here. This is it. Like this is my vibe. These people I can chill with. This person, people I can chill with. Doesn't matter if it's plural, singular. And you stick with that. That's going to be your learning base, your learning center. So I've been going out with friends and just having fun, going to bars, maybe playing video games with them, just having a time. And we don't even have to be doing a lot of things. It's the fact that I'm there. I've been doing great. So, opening up more and more learning to let people in. It's another big thing that's a problem. And it's not going to be solved overnight or in a year. It's going to take a long time. And, well, depending on perspective, it'll take a long time. But I've been doing better recently. So it's the combination of really going on people that you trust, and trust is a strong word because as someone who's avoidant, you don't really trust a lot of people. Because once you trust someone, you're vulnerable. Now you're easily perceived and easily seen. And I think that's one of the greatest fears of all, someone that can truly see me. And for avoidant people in general, most of them that I know, and I know myself, we have this harsh sense of for my gosh, I can't talk words today, I'm so tired. For like self-lookout in your own perception of yourself. It's very negative. That's why we don't want to make connections with other people. Also, that goes into anxious a little bit. So maybe some anxious people who are also avoidant. I know I'm like that. So opening up and seeing that people generally won't judge you as harsh because what do they know? It's your life. That helps. You don't have to walk eggshells around people and hide what you're doing at all times. Treating everyone like your enemy. The second thing is finding time to clear throughout your day where you can just focus on yourself. I'm a severe workaholic. As if you didn't know from me not posting anything for the past 1+ year. It's not even going to the gym, because going to the gym has a goal. I'm trying to look better. I'm trying to improve physique. That is work to me. But going on a walk for no other purpose than just to go on a walk. I never went outside like that, like going on walks. It's usually sports or something else, competitive things, where there's a goal and there is a winner. But going on a walk just to clear your head there is no winner. There's no loser either. There is no black and white. It's just gray. It's a sea of gray. But I remember the other day going on a walk. It lasted about 45 minutes. I was out there for a while. And I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear the insane rambling of thoughts in my head telling me to do this and this and this and that, and how I'm a failure because I don't talk to other people, that I should connect with this person because I promised I connected with this person a long time ago and I didn't, or I'm not being a good son, I'm not being a good friend, and what have you. Esoteric things as well, maybe religious. All that faded. And the reason why is because on a walk like that, I didn't even think about myself. I didn't go into my head. I didn't put on headphones and just block everything out. I think what I did, if I remember right, which is insane to me because it's so simple, is just focus on the sensuo-visual information around me. So the trees, the bricks that I'm walking on, the road, the cars, the sky, the birds. What color were the birds? What color were some of the trees? What did it taste like in that area in your mouth? Did it taste like a very humid type of air, right? Or does it just taste normally? Because taste does matter, which is funny. Did it smell anything differently? Did it smell like cigarette smoke or car fog or maybe fresh air? For me, it was fresh air. What did you hear? Did you hear birds? Did you hear rustling in the grass? Did you hear music playing by from someone's car? It was those things. And I think listening to those things took me totally out of my head because I live in my head 24/7. Ever since I was a kid, I've always been in my head. I live life primarily in my head. And it's a strength and a weakness because I can plot out everything and I can predict everything I can to the best of my ability. But at the end of the day, I need to live life. And I remember after doing that for some time on this walk, like it was like a weight was lifted off me. And I saw beauty in it. I saw beauty in what this world has to offer, what it looks like, even in the most mundane of places. It was a park that I went to, nothing crazy, but I like parks. They help you clear your mind a lot. And as someone who's avoidant, and I know many of you might have these types of feelings, you tend to have a very negative outlook of the world, about the future, and your own hope and purpose. And for a brief moment of time, only temporary, which tells me that I'm onto something, I felt a difference in that opinion. I felt that there is something nice here. There is something worth to be living for here. Something beautiful. And if there's beauty, then that gives me a reason to defend it and live a better life. And it made me overly optimistic, which I usually am not. I'm usually cautiously optimistic, but it was a nice twist. I'm sorry I'm pausing a lot. It's been a while since I filmed a video, and my etiquette is horrible. I'll never edit these videos. This is just the raw, unfiltered part of me. But avoidance is a big issue in today's world. It definitely is. So many people are living through it, and they don't even know it. And it's inherently in trust issues, not just in anxious people and avoidant people as well, but trust issues in the sense that I won't open up to you because I refuse to let you see me. You can open up. Oh, you can open up to me, which is fine. Which is okay. Maybe I might get uncomfortable, but overall it's okay. But it's way better than me opening up to you. That was always mine. And I don't want to make my experiences anybody else's. I know if you have different experiences, that's for you. And that's perfectly fine. But what I've come to see and seen a lot of people I've met and acquaintances is that this is a predominant thing. And I could make another video on anxious types as well. But the avoidant types are usually, they never feel at rest anywhere they go. Whether they're at home alone or they're with people out and they just think, I don't want to be here right now. It's almost like you don't deserve it. It's almost like you feel like you don't deserve it. You don't deserve to be with people, either out of pride or out of self-hatred. And you don't, sorry for the air turning on, and you don't feel like you should be alone, either out of pride or self-hatred. It's a mix of both for me. But if you find genuine people to surround yourself with, if you find genuine people to surround yourself with, I think you'll come to find that it's okay to be around people, especially people who are vulnerable as well. And it's okay to feel these things. It's okay to feel normal like other people and have a good time and have fun and not be in your head. And it's okay to trust. Now, we are right in that one sense that you have to be very careful with your trust. That is very true. You can't give it willy-nilly. But if you're around people who are wanting your trust and they are genuine people, then you should be able to. I know that is way harder to do than it is to say. I know. It definitely is. Because it's almost like you can't give yourself the victory for that. Like, I don't deserve that. I don't deserve to give my trust to anybody, either because everyone is beneath me or everyone is above me. And in that, I could tell you, as someone who's been in that cycle, it's crushing. It's crushing what the damage does to you. And I say this during the holidays because this is the time where people get together. And I feel the same way around people. I'm with them, and then for like 5 minutes later, I don't want to be there anymore. I want to be alone. And it's that unrest, and it just persists. Even when I read and I write, because I write a little poetry on the side, even when I write, it's still there. It's this perfectionism of like, you need to find this balance. And I realize, no, I don't need to find this balance. There's something wrong with this mentality, and we need to rectify it. There is no compromise in this. This needs to be rooted out and plucked. Now, do I have to find a balance first, then probably get to that? Yeah, you could say that. One thing I've learned on the medical side is that you never increase the dosage out of nowhere. You never decrease the dosage out of nowhere. You always titrate. That is your word. You need to wean off or on. So I'm not going to just bombard myself with people just to get better. You got to do it a little bit at a time, which is what I've been doing. And it seems to be working. Seems to help. And to you, and to those of you who have chosen professions in your life where it is lonely, and it does get lonely at the top, and it requires you to isolate yourself, I hope for the best of you. I really do. I'm there with you. It's one of the hardest things. Because no one's going to understand what you're going through. No one's going to understand the dedication that it takes to master your craft and to master your career, in a sense. But you can't forget about that. Because once you start pushing people away, it becomes very hard to live. And even I admit that. And I try to tell myself sometimes, I lie to myself sometimes, thinking that if I don't need anybody, I could just be fine. But I know that the loneliness would crush me. So you need somebody. Family, friend, lover, whatever that may be. Doesn't have to be all three or how many numbers, but it can't be zero. It's one of the toughest things I learned. And then sometimes what we do as avoidant people, sometimes what we do out of fear for becoming more avoidant is that we put sometimes we go full, like a full 180, and we put all our trust, or we try to really hammer in the social aspect. So we find someone to like hang around with, and that's going to be it. We're out with them all the time. Maybe we find someone we love and we just love on them as hard as we can. And then we get tired and we tire ourselves out. And now we definitely don't want to be there. We don't want to be there at all. Never come back there again. And that's one of the worst, because then then that does something to the other person. They think that you valued their time so much to be with them, and then out of nowhere you have just given up, because unbeknownst to them, you poured your all into it because you normally aren't that type of person, and you wanted to prove to yourself that you can change. That's one of the scariest things. And the fact that as avoidant people, we don't communicate as well to people because we don't like to open up. They have no idea about this. It crushes them, and it'll crush you. So, it's funny, it's a text message. I gotta turn my phone off when I do these things. It's one of the most crushing things. So that's why these things need to be taken in moderation. You don't have to prove yourself. They're saying, I can be better. You just need to get better. It's one of the best things. The best thing about mental health is that it's not a race and it's not a challenge. It's a journey. And it sounds so cliche, but that's literally what it is. When you focus on yourself and you try to heal, right? And you go through the phases of healing, nowhere is it mentioned where you have to compare yourself to someone else's journey on how they're doing it and how they're approaching it. You can take hints and you can take advice and things of that nature, right? You can really try to perfect the craft of healing because it takes time. Patience is the number one thing you're going to need. But you're not going to compare yourself to others. And you're not going to compare, you're not going to compare yourself to others, and you're not going to challenge yourself like it's a job. You have to get out of that mindset. That's it. A lot of people have that, including me, that workaholic, like, well, I'm going to get better. I don't think healing is best approach in that way. The body heals automatically. Sure, it uses energy, but it doesn't deplete its other resources in order to make this one the priority. It's called homeostasis. We all balance it, right? If my hand is hurting, my body doesn't die so that my hand lives. My body may sacrifice some of its resources to help the hand, but overall everything is fine. And I feel like that's what we do. We put our all into this one problem that we have mentally, and we sacrifice so much else that we burn ourselves out, and then people perceive us as you've just given up, or you're not okay, you have a problem. No shit, I have a problem. I'm trying to get over it. It's a rant at this point, I've noticed. I see we're over 20 minutes. I wanted to cut before 20, but it's a video. This is going to exist. And as long as it exists, someone's going to see it. And maybe nobody comment. Maybe someone will. Maybe it'll touch no one. Maybe it'll touch someone. It'll resonate with somebody, or maybe it won't. It doesn't matter. This is just my thoughts going to the ether. But I wanted to summarize the topic of today. Avoidance. What it means to be avoidant. Something I've found that helps with my avoidance issues. Some things that I've found. Meditation's a good one. You don't have to meditate on anything. Just focus on your breathing. 2 minutes a day in the morning. That's what I try to do. 2 minutes a day in the morning. Breathe in and out. And don't think about anything. If you can be outside, fresh air is nice. And then go for a walk. And I mean a meaningful walk. A philosophical walk where you don't think about anything. Like a true walk. I guess a philosophical walk, they would have to think about something. But honestly, a true philosophical walk, if you really want to be a great thinker, is to not think on the walk. That's what I believe, at least. And then lastly, how people perceive people who are avoidant and how people who are avoidant try to fix themselves, but erroneously. By putting all their eggs in one basket and foregoing every other part of their personality to prove themselves. The enemy is proving yourself. That's the problem that got you into being avoidant. You proved yourself when someone rejected you. Someone disapproved of you. So now you're here and you don't trust anybody. Because you see it as, oh, I have to open up and prove to myself that I am something for them. I love them. I care for them. I'm kind for them. I'm there for them. And you'd rather not be attached. But that is the enemy. You cannot prove yourself. Because once you start making it a game of places and championships and challenges, you've already lost. You're not even a contestant anymore. So I think the best thing you should do, if you are an avoidant person, oh God, I don't want to make it sound like advice. I think the best thing that could be done as an avoidant person is to simply heal without paying thought to it. And you do this by socializing with people truly, and it takes time, trusting people, even if that trust is slightly betrayed. Start with little things. Start little. You don't have to open up about everything, but the necessary things that you need to open up about. Things that you need to get off your chest. And I hope that everyone has a confidant in their life. I really do. Because not enough people do. A lot of pain goes unsaid in this world. In every passing minute, there is a greater need and a greater demand for people who are able to listen, who have an able ear. So, that's where I want to end it off today. Thank you guys for tuning in or listening at this point, if you've gone to the end. If you haven't, there's no worries. I'm not the type of person to tell you to subscribe or like the video. If you want to share your thoughts on the matter, feel free. I'm more than willing to read them in the comments below. But besides that, have a great night and Merry Christmas. And even if you're not an avoidant person, if you tend to just avoid people, then try to socialize. Try to get to know people this winter break. Because by the time we're back in January, it's up and running again. We're all going back to work. So make the connections you can now while you still have time. Time is always moving. You can't stop it. So the best we can do now is live in the present. All right. Dude, I got to come up with like a closer or something. I used to have like the bye, but I don't know. All right. So I'll stop it here now. Have a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And here's to 2026 coming up. Hope everyone has a good night. Bye. There it is. That's a good outro.